Good morning, everyone. I had to turn the volume up. It's Thursday again. I can't even believe it. The weeks are going by so fast. It's April. It's Thursday. It's Stash Buster Thursday. It's a really pretty day in Bay City. The sun is out, and it's going to be slightly warmer. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Yeah, it's going to be better. I think the storms have mostly passed. I do want to say that I want to thank the appliance people who put in my brand new sump pump, because it has been going non-stop for the last week or so. Yes, so we needed the rain. We got the rain. How's that? Hi, Donna. Hi, Peggy. Most Thursdays I come to you and I talk about what I'm working on and different things like that, and I'm sitting here looking and finding that some of the yarn is not in the right spot, so I apologize. Just caught my eye, so I had to fix it. So we have a lot of things going on in the next few days, few weeks, few months. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Jeannie. This weekend, Lorena and I are going to be vending at the Bay Heritage Quilt Fest. I know I've been talking about it. It's Friday and Saturday. The store will be open. The store will be open. Marilyn's working on Friday and Emma's working on Saturday. And hi, Paula. Hi, Deb. You can always come visit Lorena and I at the quilt show. It's at the community center, which is off of, I think, Henry. I go by it every day. I just have never been in the building, so this will be my first time. And, you know, it's got me a little freaked out, and I don't know why, but it does. So, my previous life, some of you may know this, some of you may not, I used to work in market research for the automotive companies and the building and construction. But for the automotive companies, I used to go all over the world and do multi-million-dollar research clinics, is what we called them. And we'd bring in hundreds of people and have them evaluate different things on cars and stuff like that. And I had no problem with that. No problem at all. This one is down the street from my house, and it's just got me freaked out. I think partly because I don't know what the building looks like. I have been to the quilt show several years ago. A friend of mine was displaying a couple of her quilts, and so I did go. I've seen the quilt show before, never in this location, and so I've kind of been a little freaked out, like, ah. We actually did a little preview, Lorena and I, on Mondays. Mondays tend to be a little bit slower, and so we did like a little mock what will go on our table and all that kind of stuff. So and so we have all these boxes underneath the tables. I don't know if you guys can see them, but that we're loading up the car today to go take this over. So I don't know why I'm freaked out, but come visit us, come buy something. I think I'm also freaked out because we're going to use our new POS system at the show off my phone. Yes, go figure. So that's all set up, and so yeah, so we're just gonna wing it, and we'll see how it is. I guess there's, like, last year I think they had 1,000 people attend, so that's pretty good. So and I know there is a lot of quilting things going on this weekend in the area. I know there's something going on, I think, in Midland too. So come visit us in Bay City, and it is 10 to 5, I believe, both days. And you could enter to win something if you come to our booth and you fill out our entry form, but it's always good to buy something too. So that's my scoop. Let's see who's on. Peggy's on, Shirley's on, Sandy's on. Margaret's on. Marilyn's on. Yes, come visit Marilyn on Friday. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. Oh, Priscilla. Oh, it's snowy, rainy, freezing rain, sleet, raining. That's what we had yesterday and the day before. So, hi, Jenny. Good to see you. All right. I think I got everybody on there. So I've been a little frazzled trying to get everything ready for that. I'm also working on our passport for our yarn crawl, June 12th through the 21st. I think we have most of the tweaks done, and then I have to send it out to all the stores and get their approval. Hopefully they'll all approve it really quick so we can get those printed. We are doing a bag this year, and so you will get a passport and a bag for $10. And so far I've shown a few people the bag and they have liked it, so that's kind of good too. Hi, Jillian. There are 14 shops in the Middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl this year, and that's exciting. We've never had that many before. This is our 4th year. We used to be part of the I-75 Yarn Crawl, and that dissolved because the woman who used to run it, she retired, and so it went away. So I said, well, we need a yarn crawl. So being in the middle of the mitten, which is everywhere from Perry to Boyne City to Alpena, right in there, there is, we don't get invited to a lot of yarn crawls because we're kind of out of the way. So we made our own. There's 10 days. It's a Thursday through the following Saturday. And each store has their own hours and things like that. So make sure you follow Middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl. There's a Facebook page out there for it. So make sure you follow that, because then you will know when the passports are available and when the bags are and what who the shops are and all that good stuff. And so that will, more stuff will be going on there real soon. Before May 1st. So that is my goal, is to have all the passports and the bags to all the shops before May 1st, because it starts June 12th through the 21st. So just thought I'd put a little plug in there. So you can buy your bag and your passport at any of the stores. Obviously, I'd love to have you buy them for me. But a lot of people will look at the list and they'll pick one store where they're going to start their crawl, and then they work their way around. So, and yeah, so that's my scoop. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. I know some of you don't live in the area, so it's a little harder to do a Middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl. So, just keep visiting us. So, all right, let me turn this around. Enough babbling for today. I finished and I blocked my vest. It does look better with the ribbing on the sleeves. And I tried it on this morning. I picked it up off the towel and it was dry, and I tried it on and it fits perfect. Ooh, horrible storms and tornadoes. Ooh, diversion. Yes, buy some yarn. It always helps. It helps me when I'm stressed out. And this is really cute. And I was really excited about it because this yarn, and if you hear a big bang, it means this mannequin just fell down. I broke the adjustment yesterday, so oops. But this yarn is really bouncy, okay? It's not going to be heavy on you. It's going to be great for spring, even those cooler nights in the summer. I love a vest in the spring and summer and fall. And so this will be great. I do have 2 ends to put in. All my other ends are in. Exactly. But I didn't put the ones in for the ribbing around the sleeves yet. So we do still have several colors left. The only one we don't have left was a purple. The purple's gone. Someone got that one the other day. And these are on sale. I did the math, and I think I only used like 6.5 balls. Our kits are for 8. So if your gauge is different than mine, or you want to make it longer, or any of that kind of stuff, you have plenty, or get an extra skein. I think all of the colors I can do an extra skein. So it's $80. The pattern is on Ravelry for $8, Wharf Street. It is very easy to do. Now, one thing I am going to point out, you don't really see it on the front unless you're sitting at the exact right spot in the store, but you see it in the back. I'm calling it my Amish addition to my project. You know how you always say, oh, I made a little flub, so it must be an Amish thing. And I ripped it out 3 times and I got the same thing, so I decided to stop. There is a spot, now everybody's going to see it, and you can see it even better in the back, I think. No, I can't find it. Here we go. And it's right where you split for your sleeves. I'm sure there is a way to work around it. I tried to, and then I decided not to, because I did not want to make mine different than everybody else's would turn out, okay? What it is there's a decrease row, and so that's why I didn't fudge it. I could have fudged it. There's 3 rows here instead of 2. All the rest of these are 2. And you could just make it work. It wouldn't be a problem. But this is how the pattern's written, because I ripped it out 3 times and it still did that. Now, hers doesn't do that. So if you're making this and you don't get that, then hey, you're golden. That's all I have to say. And if you just watch when you're splitting for the sleeves, you can make that not do that. Okay. I obviously couldn't, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm calling it a design element. So, but I just wanted to point that out to everybody. I don't think anybody's going to really notice it. And I'm not ripping mine out again just to make it work. So that's, I'm going to be Amish on my vest. That's all I could say. But I do love this yarn. It is the Merino 401. You could buy it on our website. It is extra fine merino wool. It's really soft. It does take a bunch of balls, but that's because these are 50-gram balls. So when you have to buy 8 balls, don't think of it as anything. It would be, a $20, 214 yard skein. So these are on sale for $10 a piece. We have loads of colors. These are great vest colors, I think. So that's my scoop on that. So make sure you get those before we run out of the yarn, okay? I really like that yarn. I've made 3 things. I made a cowl, I made a sweater, and now the vest, and I really like it. I do really, really like this pattern. She does a great job. Now, I'm going to tell you, I picked 48 stitches up around my armhole. I made size, let me see what size I made. Hang on. It was easy to make it, to block it wider. It had some stretch. I made the 4 size, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, a 45. But I went down a needle because I didn't like remember we had this discussion. I did not like the gauge. I just didn't like the fabric. I liked it better. She tells you to use an 8. I used a 7, and then I used a 6 for the trim. And I think it's fine. So it was really easy to do, and it went really fast. I think the thing that took me the longest was figuring out that I didn't want to fudge that row. So that was really the thing that took. And you know what? I'm glad I did this project because I didn't have any problem picking up my stitches for my neck. In so many patterns I don't do because they start here and then you have to pick up stitches at the end for your neck. And yeah. You know me. I like easy. I like top down. Start with the ribbing. Go from there. So, talk about start from the ribbing and go from there. You guys have seen pieces of this. I am now on the correct gauge, correct weight, all that kind of stuff of the brand new Blue Sky pattern. It actually goes from a 32 3/4 to a 64, and that is the Camden sweater. I can show you this now. I think it's really cute. Now, I'm going to tell you that the neck isn't quite as big as what they say, okay? It's not that bad. Because I want to tell you, the models that they use at Blue Sky, here's a little hidden gem. They're like 6 feet tall and weigh like 20 pounds, okay? So they have really scrawny little necks. They're perfect for sweater modeling because I don't have to do anything with them. The stripes go all the way around, so it's in the back, it's on the sides. They did a 3/4 sleeve. You guys know for me that'll be a regular length sleeve. So, but I am making the 40, I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm making the 40 1/4 because it seemed to be a little bit big. Okay, so I can always make it a little longer if I need to, split for the sleeves. I can always do this a little bit longer. Stay tuned. Next week, I'll have more info. And next Tuesday, we don't have a live on Saturday. Next Tuesday, I hope to have some kits available for this. So where they're doing Azul, I think they used indigo. I'm using, I think Azul. No, I'm using Mediterranean, I think. And then I'm using lemongrass for this, and then I have a white in there. They have a white in there here too. So, I think it's really cute. It's top down. It's a really well-written pattern. And you can see my pattern. Yep, this is how I did it. Now, I got my pattern before they published it. So I have a few comments on mine because it wasn't the finished pattern. One thing though, this is my hint for today. You have 140 stitches and I'm supposed to go to 168. That is my increase round, okay? And so I take 168, I subtract 140, I get 28, okay? Rather than having to count 168 stitches, because I really hate counting, I just tallied every time I did an increase, okay? So it was knit 5, make 1 left. Knit 5, make 1 left. Knit 5, make 1 left. So every time I did a make 1 left, I tallied right here on my stitch row counter. And I got 28 at the end, so I knew I didn't have to count all my stitches. And so that is my little time-saving issue. I also, when it does things like repeat rows 3 and 4 2 more times, I put 3 and 4 and I cross them off, okay? That's just what I do. Now, I also did this I don't know if this is how the final pattern works, but it had row 1 on one side and row 2 is on the next row. Yeah, that's always helpful. So I just put row 2 is knit, just to remind myself. And so every odd number row, I'm going to do an increase on my raglans, okay? Every even row, so on my so if I look here, I'm on row 10, I'm on an even row, which means I'm just going to knit around. I also do like putting, and this is my beginning of round marker, I like putting a stitch marker here. And I move this, hi Pam, I move this up, and that way I know that's my sleeve, okay? Because sometimes patterns will have you do certain things, especially at the end of your decreases, just your sleeves or just your body. And so I like to do that because otherwise I have to remember which one is which, blah, blah, blah. I also made them 2 different colors. So when I see the red one, I know I'm almost done with the round. And okay, it's like I'm almost to the yellow on the sock yarn, Little things, especially with solid color projects, I need a little bit of something going on. I did this solid color. This one is for right now is a lot of solid. We will have this yarn out by Monday. I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to put it out before that, but we got new colors. This is the Blue Sky Fibers Organic Sport, Cotton Sport. I love this. I really like this yarn. It's really soft. I was really commenting on that last night going, gosh, this is soft. But remember, it knits like a wool. It's not splitty. It has a great twist to it. It's not splitty. It's a very nice yarn. They did a great job with that one. So, yes. I also do this. I think I've shown you guys this before. I tie my ends together. So, especially in the beginning, you know, your first end, I put a loop in it. So I'm less likely to knit with it because on this one, I did knit with my tail. So I reminded myself, remember to I just put a slip knot, you know, a loop through it. Just so that I can just pull it right back out, put my ends in. I don't have to worry about it. But it makes it feel bulkier so that when I pick it up to knit with it, I go, oh, that's wrong. Because we've all done it. All right, what else do I have? I wanted to show you guys that I have, let me walk over here. It's not alive without walking around. I do have the kits. I have the Mystery Blanket Neutral Comfort. That is this one. That is kit 2. Kit 2. So if you're on our website, we do have the pictures on there. We have Berries and Cream, which is this one. And then we have Eclectic Haze, which is this one. I think that's kind of fun. It'd be great in like a kid's room or a sun room or something like that. So I wanted to show you how they kind of have laid them out. I don't have any kit 1s. Okay, we already sold out of the kit 1s that came in. But I do have 2 of Neutral Comfort. And I have 2 of Berries and Cream, and I have 1 Eclectic Haze. So those are 180. You can do other things with them. These are the Mystery Knit-Along blankets. I was showing last Tuesday the Nora's Vintage Afghan. I think that would be a great option if you're not into color work, which seems to be what a lot of this is. There are some cables in here. There's some lace. Intarsia, there's all kinds of stuff, so that's my scoop on that. Hi, Brenda. Let's see. Deb, you're on, and I think you were asking about the puddle jumper. I have 2 skeins left. That's all I have, so let me know if you need that, or call the store, let Emma or Marilyn know. If you're going to the quilt show, I have my little diagram here. This is where you come in. There's all these quilts here, and then they have little booths around. I do know that we're going to be directly across from the entrance. So we are going to be right there, so come visit us. So that's my scoop there. That's my notes. I'm putting it with my boxes of stuff. And I do have a couple of free patterns, and then I'm going to talk about another pattern. Cheese Doodles. Isn't this so cute? This is not a doodle pack. It is a cowl. It is, and they have all the charts. Okay, I will pull those, Deb, and have Emma send you an invoice. These are the Cheese Doodles. I think this is just so cute. That was a free pattern on Ravelry this morning. You know, we have all the little doodle packs. We are going to get in the new cats and dogs, and there's a couple more, so I think we're going to wait till the next couple come in, and then we'll have those, so stay tuned. This one is a free one, and this one is Moon Garden. It is from Lisa Much, and, oh, good, thanks, Pam, at least I'll have a friend, yay. And this one uses DK weights, okay, DK weights. And I'm showing you DK weights because I think I told you guys we had our vendor in Tuesday, and we bought a bunch of DK weight. And we're bringing in a yarn that we've had before. We thought we'd bring it back in because it's a great value value and a great color work yarn. But for this vendor, oftentimes we do ASAP because we never know when stuff is going to come in, and that way we don't miss our chance because somebody else got it. Well, I have 5 boxes coming in next week. 5 boxes of DK weight. So everybody look at all your patterns for DK weight because I'm going to be pushing a ton of DK weight next week. So just thought I'd tell you that. Hi, Peggy. Good to see you. And I found this fantastic pattern. It's called Mariana. So I was looking for, we're getting in Juniper, Patagonia. Who makes Patagonia? Somebody makes Patagonia. We are getting it in, and this one for my size will take like 3 in 1. That's not a bad deal. And I thought this one was great. It's top down. You guys know I love color work, and I've done a couple of just solid color sweaters, so now I get a chance to do something that is more color worky. And someone made it with this, and check this pattern out. We can get it for you if you need it. And once again, I do want to say it looks like it has a huge neck. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, like this might say it needs 11 inches of ease. Well, if you do 11 inches of ease, your neck is going to be too big. But if you do like 5 or 6 inches of ease, your neck will be okay. So remember that kind of stuff. But I thought this one was really fun. And they were talking, it's somebody I've never worked with before, Folk City Fiber Studio. And, but the chart looks really pretty easy. There are a few long floats, so I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that. But the yarn that we're bringing in, the Patagonia, is a little crunchier, so I don't think you're going to see your floats as bad behind it. So that's always a good thing. So stay tuned for that one. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. So let's see. To wrap it up, we have vest kits, and my vest is blocked. It is everything. I love it. It's done. I am working on my Camden sweater. Hopefully, now the quilt show is 10 to 5, so I'm going to lose some knitting time. But it's a really easy knit. So, I think that'll be great. We'll have some kits for that next week, or come in the store and we'll get that. Yes, Patagonia does soften when washed. It's one of those crunchy yarns that's great for color work, but you do need to block it so that it gets nice and soft and squishy. So, remember, we do have a whole bunch of these row counters. I love them. I put them on my thumb. And this little tip to just count your increases instead of having to count all your stitches. And we do have some free ones. We have a whole bunch of itsy bitsy bags. And yeah, so even though I won't be in the store on Friday and Saturday, come in. Marilyn and Emma are like, hello, come visit us. They will be here. We will be here. So, and we do have some blanket kits. So if you want those, we can do that. And come visit us at the quilt show if you're in town. So that's my scoop. You guys have a great day. I will see you on Tuesday. There's no live on Saturday unless I come to you from the quilt show. You never know. Talk to you later.